Hey everyone, Robert here, author of Expansion Mastery, the practical guide to living a fully engaged life. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here today on the Fully Engaged Life, and to let you know how much I appreciate you. So if you're ready to transform yourself and your life from ordinary to extraordinary, let's get to it, my friends. Welcome to the Fully Engaged Life. Welcome back to the show, everyone, and welcome to today's episode where we are going to focus on, surprise, surprise, vibration, the essence of it all. You know, I've been teaching about vibration for about 15 years or so now. It's the core of the teachings in my book, and it's been the topic of the majority of these podcasts. Through roughly 40 years of spiritual practice and study, I've arrived at a point where there's an understanding for life as a whole according to vibration. Vibration is the essence of it all. And having the capability of understanding life through this lens of vibration is quite extraordinary, at least to me. Now, I'm not saying that I know it all. I know beyond any shadow of a doubt that I have much, much more to learn. And this is why I will continue studying and practicing for the rest of my life. But to see things just as they are, without any window dressing or distraction of any type, is quite phenomenal. And I'd like to help you to be able to do the same. So today I would like to share some aspects of vibration, of various topics brought down to the level, the understanding of vibration in a way perhaps you don't realize right now. This will help you see how important vibration is within any spiritual system and any awareness and acknowledgement for our true sense of self. That's self with a capital S, of course. So let's take a look at a few things. One thing, just to recap, is the understanding of vibration in terms of our essence of being. We know that which we were before we came into this physical body and mind, and that which we will return after this body and mind give out, is pure conscious awareness energy. Energy never dies. We are energy, and all energy vibrates. And this vibrating energy has a sense of pure conscious awareness. And, of course, when we pass on, we go back to that field of energy and become part of the field of energy. Remember the drop in the ocean idea. So this is what we are at our absolute essence. So if you're new to that understanding, pause it here and give yourself a moment to think about that. And as you move forward in your spiritual training, keep that in the back of your mind, because as you embark on the spiritual path, you will run into things that will prove this to you time and time again. So for now, being in this body and mind, we also have to understand that every thought and every emotion produces a particular vibrational frequency within us. This is why we are instructed to be very mindful and very careful of our thoughts and emotions, and to do our best to keep them as positive as possible. Positive thoughts, positive emotions equal higher vibrational frequency. Pretty standard, pretty easy to grasp, right? We also have to pay attention to the fact that every single word that we utter carries a particular vibrational frequency, not just within us, but one that echoes out into the world, into the universe. And it is this projected vibrational frequency interacting with the universal frequency that then begins the attraction to something of similar vibration into our lives. So it is from this that we create this attraction. It is to do with the vibrational frequency of our thoughts, our emotions, and our words. All of those things together are causing us to manifest things, to attract things into our lives. Whether we are conscious of it or whether we are unconscious of it, it is still taking place. We can see this in so many ways. Let's use an example here. How about the way a person feels when you first meet them? Right? You kind of get a sense for them. Everybody naturally does this. You get a sense for someone when you first meet them, whether you care for them, whether you don't care for them, whether there's something about them that you just are attracted to and drawn to, and whether you are finding them abrasive, right? This is all based upon how their vibrational frequency matches up to your vibrational frequency. Even while inhabiting these physical and mental forms, we human beings still have this very deep connection and interaction on an energetic level. In addition to this constant vibrational human interaction, we are constantly interconnected to and interacting with the vibrational frequency of the Earth, of the planet itself. We are even influenced by the quality of the frequency that we interact with from the planet. Not to mention all of the energy that is all around us in the space that we observe, where it seems like there is nothing but air or sky or what have you. It is not empty at all. It is filled with energy. It is an energy field. One way to understand this interaction is through the Taoist theory of when we breathe in qi, or vital life force, energy, into our being, which helps sustain us. Energy is typically derived from the air we breathe, right? The field all around us, the foods we eat, the beverages we drink, and then, of course, from the earth itself through our feet and legs. All of which also speaks to the vibratory nature of it all. In martial arts, vibration is used in the form of kiai. Kiai is not something that's merely a shout or a yell meant to cause hesitation or fear in an opponent. It's far more sophisticated a skill than that. However, in many martial arts schools, the sound that is produced and projected as a kiai is actually a seed syllable carrying a very particular vibration, resonating with and coming from a very particular point in the body. There is a stupa that is made up to represent a human being, and it has the building blocks of everything in the known universe, which is considered to be earth, water, fire, and wind. This is present in almost every Eastern and Western spiritual system. But what most people may not realize is that each one of these elements carries with it its own seed syllable used to connect to it. So the seed syllable, when uttered correctly, puts us into vibrational coherence with that particular element. And we can look at how we are made up of all these elements. Everything in the known universe, right, is made up of these elements. As far as our physical body, we have earth, which would be the bones and the flesh, things like that. Water, all of our fluids, you name it, we got a lot of fluids in our body, and we're made up mostly of fluid, right? Fire, that's that electrical spark, the electrical system that we have. It's the spirit. We have the wind. That's the breath. We need that oxygen, that air coming in. And then, of course, the void, which is the mind. This ties everything together to have the human being, both of body and mind. So the seed syllable for earth is Ah, A-H. And it's usually done very deeply. You have to be able to utter that seed syllable and create the vibration in your body in the correct area. Okay? Then we have water, which is O. Fire, which is A. Wind, which is E. And the void, which is U. So if you run through these together, you should feel the vibration start from basically the groin area and go all the way up to the head. So if you're going you should literally feel that vibration starting low in the body, in the torso, and rising all the way up to the head. So go ahead and pause this, give it a try, see if you can do it, see if you can feel that vibration. It's pretty cool. And if you take a moment to contemplate how those could be used and how helpful they could be, you can understand them in terms of far more than just martial arts. And if we continue to examine this set of 5 elements, and we look at them through Shingon Buddhism, which is a form of esoteric Buddhism, we understand the mantric syllables of the 5 elements in a little bit different way. In Shingon, these form the body of Dainichi Nyorai in the Taizokai mandala. This also forms the 5-symbol pagoda, or the stupa that we mentioned earlier. And here we have earth, water, fire, wind, and void. And this is a different set of seed syllables. Okay? The first one is the same, but from there they go different because it's a little bit different aspect. So here, earth is Ah, water is Ba, fire is Ra, wind is Ka, void is Kya. So when you use this appropriately for the practice, once again, you are engaging certain vibrational frequencies. So here it is more of a Ah, Ba, Ra, Ka, Kya. And these are but 2 models. There are several models that are used to engage different vibrational frequencies because they have different goals in mind. So it isn't a matter here of, which one is right, which one is wrong. They're both right. And all the other ones that have been created with this model are also correct. The idea is that they refer to different things. The first one, we have the elements in their base form, and this allows us to create vibration within ourselves. And the second one is dealing more with a spiritual practice, connecting to this vibrational, quote-unquote, body of Dainichi Nyorai. It really helps to grasp this once you can see past the idea of dualism. So the basic translation of Shingon is true word. Perhaps the true word itself points to the vibration of seed syllables being the truth behind the word. We see the idea of protecting our vibration as a form of martial arts as well. Most people don't think about vibration when doing martial arts. But in certain traditional Japanese schools, we are instructed to smile as we engage the techniques with a partner of punching and kicking and throwing and things. And the idea behind this is that we are to keep a higher vibration while we engage in an actual combative situation. Now, this can be very difficult to do because if our heart is truly open, if our vibration is as high as possible, then we can't possibly engage in lying or speaking harshly or fighting someone. But the idea is sometimes we have to protect ourselves or our loved ones. And if that's the case, they would like us to keep our vibration as high as possible while doing so. Very different than all of the egoic ranting and bravado of MMA these days, isn't it? Which there's nothing wrong with. It's just a totally different method of training and fighting. So I won't go into all of the religious and martial implications of holding the smile, which influences these martial arts here, but I do teach that to my students. It's important to understand that it's there. Think about it. If your vibration is high, your emotions are positive, your thoughts are positive, your words are positive, it's very easy to smile, isn't it? As a matter of fact, you may find it difficult not to smile. However, if we're feeling angry, ashamed, guilty, fearful, and our vibration is low, it can be very challenging to force a smile on our face. And at the core of it all is vibration. And there are many, many ways to interact on a very practical level with vibration every day. If we look at the Taoist system within many sets of what they call Tao Yin, there's a practice of clicking your teeth together, clicking the top teeth against the bottom teeth. Now, if you do this, do it gently. Don't break your teeth, right? It's just meant to cause vibration. By clicking our teeth together, which in the practice they generally do 36 times, it's not a magic number. If you do a couple less, a couple more, it's not a big deal. You just don't want to do too many. You need to do enough that it actually has the desired effect, but you don't want to do too much to where it starts to cause harm. And it seems that they found that the right number for that is about 36. So you just have your mouth closed, you click your teeth together 36 times. What this does is causes a vibration through the skeletal structure of your entire body. Think about it. Your teeth are connected to every other bone in your body. So you create a vibrational resonance that goes through your entire skeletal structure. And it is said to be good for the health of your teeth as well as all of the bones in your body. This is how your bones interact with the vibration of clicking the teeth together. And then generally, they follow that up with another exercise, which arises naturally from having your mouth closed and clicking your teeth together. And that is that you will start to build saliva in your mouth. And oftentimes in Taoist theory, this is referred to as the golden elixir. And the idea is then you take that saliva with your tongue and you swish it around your mouth and you brush your teeth with your tongue and saliva. I mean, think about it. Hundreds and hundreds of years ago, these people didn't have dentists and they didn't have toothbrushes or toothpaste. So this is one of the things they did to keep their mouth and their teeth healthy. And then, of course, they would swallow the saliva and trace it down to their lower abdomen. They believed that the enzymes and things built into the saliva were very beneficial. And oftentimes we in the West are led to believe that people in the past all had horrible teeth. But if you actually study skulls from hundreds of years ago in many different cultures, you find that the opposite is actually the truth. But here, through this particular practice, we can see how we're interacting with our skeletal structure, our bone health, through vibration. Another practice that relies on vibration is that of conditioning the body. Some people call it like iron body or golden bell and so on and so forth. And they use various practices and various tools in order to condition the body to become not only tougher and stronger, but healthier. And this generally begins with a patting and slapping type of massage all over the body, from head to toe. Okay? You have to be very careful of certain areas, and you shouldn't engage in a practice such as this without a qualified instructor to help guide you, or you can damage certain areas of your body and joints and things like that. However, once you do that with the hands, then you employ a striking tool. And this can be many things. It can be a single length of bamboo that has been slightly split in half on one end, so that as you strike, let's say your arms, you're striking your arms, it'll make a clacking sound, and you can distinguish the quality of the vibration going into the body by the sound that it makes. Now, there's also using a bundle, like if you take 10 pencils and you tied them together. But instead of pencils, if you take pieces of bamboo that have been tied together and you strike your body using that. There's also another tool where they use iron rods that are fastened into a handle, and they strike themselves with this iron rod. It's called an iron broom. So this bundle of iron rods. You can even fill a cloth tube with something like mung beans or gravel or iron shot and strike your body with that as well. But the interesting thing is that each one of these tools creates a certain vibration within the body. One of the tools may just cause a vibration that interacts with the skin. Another with the skin and the sinew and other tissues. And then another will go right into the bone. So it's very helpful to understand all this and why you need a teacher to do this. So do not practice this without a qualified instructor. But it seems very often that most of the time people view these things and it's all about, oh, how hard I strike myself or whatever it is, and they think that's what's doing it. And in reality, it's actually the vibration that is doing the beneficial aspect of these practices and giving you the desired results. So we can see just how much everything is about vibration. How many things in our life that we interact with are actually about vibration. If we can see through the surface nature of it, the superficial nature, and look more deeply, we can understand these things according to vibration. And this is certainly how the ancient masters, be they martial or spiritual, understood these sorts of things. So I have spoken in the past of how we interact with vibration according to music. That's the most obvious one, and quite an enjoyable one, I have to say. But then we have the vibration of everything else, even the vibration of food and of language. It seems each language carries a unique vibrational pattern to it that can be a lot of fun to learn and investigate. So I would like to offer you a fun challenge if you are up for it. I would like you to find something in your life and try to contemplate it down to the understanding of vibrational frequency that you didn't realize was there before. What is one way you can get closer to understanding this whole idea of life as vibration through something in your life? Have some fun with this because it's a fascinating topic and it's at the very heart of all spiritual systems, not to mention being the very essence of what we are. A second challenge that I would like to present to you is a much needed one. Due to all of the lockdowns and the situations surrounding the coronavirus, there's a drastic increase in depression and suicide for a number of reasons. And we can help people with this, with vibration. You don't need to do anything other than offer them a higher vibration. I do my best these days to go out of my way to help raise the vibration of anyone that I interact with. And not everyone is open to it, and that's okay. But most of the time, all it takes is a smile, a wave, or a few moments of pleasant, uplifting conversation. It can make all the difference in someone. If we have the ability to lift someone's vibrational frequency, even just for a few moments, so that they can feel better after being around us, after speaking with us, isn't that a wonderful thing? What a gift. And it is so easy. I mean, just think about it for a moment. What if everyone you interacted with during the day could feel so much better just because they interacted with you? We start to get a glimpse of the power that we truly have when we look at things this way. But I encourage you to try to lift someone's vibration whenever possible. Sometimes it may only last a few moments. Sometimes they may resist it completely. We don't have control over that. But sometimes, just sometimes, it may make all the difference in the world, and it may last a long time for them. It may be exactly what they need to remember just how incredible life is and how it is worth living. And I know that I am truly grateful for every single one of you who has reached out to me and given me such fantastic positive feedback for these podcasts. And for those of you who remain silent and don't interact with me, that is fine too. I understand that. Believe me, I do the same thing in many, many situations myself. So it's fine. But if this can lift your vibrational frequency and you can live with a higher vibrational frequency, what a gift. What a gift for someone to give someone else. I'm trying to present that to all who will listen through these podcasts, through my book, in person. And you have the ability right now yourself to do the same thing. Certainly nothing special about me. You have the same ability. It's time to consciously engage that ability. Because when you're living in a higher vibrational frequency and you're capable of helping others to live in a higher vibrational frequency, that's when we all step into having the capability of living a fully engaged life. Please remember to visit me at www.expansionmastery.com. You can get your autographed copy of Expansion Mastery there, the only place you can get the autographed copy. There's an ebook on there and a bunch of other goodies, some things to read, stuff to check out. Please do that. And also make sure that you share this podcast. Make sure that you hit the subscribe, the like, the comments, all that social media stuff that helps us get out there so that we can hopefully positively influence more people. Until next time, my friends, I wish you the very best in your practices and your life. Take care.